Good evening friends, study with the Pala Engineering and General Geology Parvin Singh book। तो हम लोग चैप्टर 16 पर हैं जो स्ट्रेटिग्राफी ऑफ इंडिया है। अब हम लोग पढ़ रहे हैं प्रिजर्वेशन स्ट्रेटिग्राफी के तहत। All the plants and organisms that existed over the surface of the earth could not be expected to be preserved as fossils. The process of fossilizations, जिसमें fossils बनते हैं, ऐसा नहीं कि आप किसी चीज़ को उठाएंगे, गीली मिट्टी में दबा देंगे, उस पर मिट्टी फेंक देंगे, सो बन जाएगा fossils। ये बहुत लंबा प्रोसेस होता है, ठीक है। Fossilizations, तो as we may call it, is controls by some general conditions which are essential for the preservation of organic remains as fossils. Following are the most important of these conditions. Possessions of hard parts. Organisms with hard skeletal parts have better chance to be preserved as fossils because such parts could not be easily destroyed, decomposed, eaten up by other organisms. The soft parts are easily decomposed after the death of the organism and hence might not be fossilized at all. So obviously, the organism made up wholly of soft tissues are not likely to be represented in fossils. Immediate burial. The importance of these conditions lies in the fact that if the dead remains of the organisms do not get quickly buried after their death, these are liable to be spoiled by chemical decay or even by other animals. Obviously, land animals and plants have less chances of burial than the sea animals or plants. Hence, the abundance of the fossils of marine life and of life of subaqueous environment, such as that of lakes and streams. Suitable environment. If an organic remains is buried immediately after its death, but the environment happens to be chemically active or unstable for some other reason, fossilization might not still take place. In other words, preservation is possible only when no destructive chemical agent are present in and around the area of deposition of the remains. Similarly, for cast impressions comes into being the nature of the materials over which the organism live should be suitable. It should be soft and moist abundant to record the imprints, cast and molds as perfectly as possible, and it should be also quickly covered with a second layer of such material so that impressions of the first layer are preserved. Since all fossils are ancient remain in real geological terms, it is easy to believe that such conditions of fossilizations were available to those organisms remain. Only then these could be preserved as the fossils. Remain of organisms buried in recent flood muds could not be closed and should not be confused with the fossils, though these are illustrations of first phase of fossilizations. So, imprint of fossils, what is this? So, much important has been attached, and rightly so, during the last 100 years to the discovery of fossils. Fossils may be regarded as the most reliable evidence for the study of the past geological history of the earth. Their contributions towards geological science is immense, but virtue of its history of the earth. Their contributions towards geological science is immense by virtue of its importance. The science dealings with the ancient life is distinct branch of geology and is called paleontology. In geological terms, fossils are most important tools in the hand of a geologist concerned with the past history of the earth. Fossils, when properly imprinted, could throw light about the probable time. When such types of organisms lived, and also the type of environment in which it could live, and the process responsible for the formation of the rock in which it stands buried. Fossils of marine life discovered from limestone formation at a great height in the Himalayas are enough proof of those rocks having been formed in a marine environment at the good life lifted to these heights in the subsequent mountain building processes. In paleogeographic, ancient geography, and paleobotany, ancient botany, fossils provide us with evidence that could lead us to formulate the distribution of land and sea on the one hand, and also the types of life that grew in different periods since the beginnings of the earth. The fact that fossils of man or man-like animals have not been found from any formation older than a million years is of great significance. In real history perspective, this planet has been without a man-like animals for 500,000 million years. The creatures is only of a very recent origin, and with a highly delicate, balanced parameters of supporting its existence. Many mighty races of animals and plenty kingdoms have already appeared as or disappeared, become extinct. This race of man is the most vulnerable in the face of demands of existence on the earth. In fact, the single most important contribution of fossils is towards the theory of evolutions of life. It can be easily remarked that without fossils, the theory of evolution of life would not have been able to sustain even the slightest wave of criticism. It is the fossils' evidences, forming almost a chain of events, that has put the ideas of evolutions on the most unassailable footing. मतलब जो फुट है वो प्रिंट उसके आइडिया आप ले सकते हैं. It is because of fossils that the theory of evolution of life has been given almost universal recognition. The proof of evolutionary change have been so perfectly preserved in the fossils that complete animals and plant races could be traced to have appeared and evolved and disappeared from the faces of the earth. Paleontology is a well-defined branch of geology. As mentioned above, it will be out of place here to enter into any principles of paleontology or even the subject of different group of fossils. That is beyond the scope of this book. As such, names of fossils or group of animals and plant kingdom mentioned again and again in the study of stratigraphy would have to be taken by the reader on their face values. For a thorough study of the science of fossils, any book on paleontology should be referred. We give below the outlines sketch of some typical fossils associated with some important geological systems of rocks that developed during different eras. Just as an illustrative example, trilobite, orthis, productus, trigonia, ceratite, turritella, gangopteris, glossopteris, spinopteris, some typical fossils. अब इसको ट्रिलोबाइट्स को कहते हैं. कैम्ब्रियन टू रिसेंट है पहला, दूसरा पेलियोजोइक है, तीसरा आपका ये भी पेलियोजोइक है, फोर्थ ट्राइगोनियस जुरासिक टू रिसेंट रिलेटेड है। कैन यू मतलब रिलेट करते हैं रिसेंट से, जुरासिक टू रिसेंट भी पाए जा रहे हैं। कैनिकजोइक, फिफ्थ एग्जाम्पल क्रिटेटाइट, क्रिटेशियस टू रिसेंट पाई जाता है ट्यूरिटेला। गैंगोप्टेरिस और ग्लासोप्टेरिस, सिनोप्टेरिस गोंडवाना फॉसिल्स। थैंक यू एंड प्लीज सपोर्ट और रीड बुक, खुद से भी पढ़िए आप प्लीज बुक, और डायग्राम बनाइए। थैंक यू, प्लीज सपोर्ट इट।